Hello, I'm Tushar, and this is a Wati workflow documentation on how to create Wati surveys using chatbots. So this is the basic workflow documentation in Google Docs, and I'll be showing you how to make a chatbot from scratch. So first of all, you can log into your corresponding Wati, and this is a basic Wati. This is a basic Wati application. If I go to my name, all chat. This is one of the workflows that has already been worked on, which I worked on. So just to show us an example, here starts the workflow. This is the initialization of the chatbot, which starts the basic workflow and the automated chatbot using keyword matching. Whenever a keyword is matched based on the output given from the user, a chatbot starts. And for now, the keyword action is I'll share my feedback. So if I go to my automations page and I use keyword action and others part, I can see there are different triggers that work. I know here I'll share my feedback as a trigger, which works on exact matching and it activates a chatbot. So if I see reply material, triggered and keyword. So keyword is yes. How many times it has triggered? 16 times. Method matching, exact method, and what is it going to reply back? It starts from the chatbot. So here you can make a new keyword action, and you need to make a basic template to be broadcasted to the contact. So here is one of the initializations of last minute survey. So this is the basic UI, and this is the output. Yes, I'll share my feedback. Once the user clicks this button, it sends back yes, I'll share my feedback, and then the whole workflow starts working. So let's start from beginning. I won't be creating a whole new automation. I'll be showing how it can be created. So last minute service is like this. These are the different lists of items that will be shown. These are the buttons which are shown after uploading the message to the user, which asks if he's interested or not. And after that, there's an update attribute which updates the user preferences and it gets saved in user database. So, so here's the start of the chatbot. This is the starting node. So first the chatbot sends this message, then sends this message. This is a line. You can delete it if you don't want it. This is the starting step. After the starting step, this it goes to the next step, which sends. So these are the basic templates which you can use. So send message is a template. So send message has message, image, video, audio, document. So like that you can send messages. Then ask a question. This is a ask a question with different options in ask question, which can be ask question. He gives the output in text. Buttons he has choices, and list he has no choices. So here we use list. These are the different options. If you want to edit it, you can put the body text here for the question, header, footer, whatever you want. Button text, whatever you want. Then these are the different sections. So our section name is deliverables, and these are the different rows: row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, row 6, row 7. Once a row is filled, this is the basic title of the row and this is the description for the row. We can add more rows from add new row, and once you're if you're done with this section, the deliverable section, we can add a new section which can, you know, it will add a new section which can be, let's say, testing row 1. We should save this. And here we can see deliverables, the options for deliverables, and the text, the testing row. Now, with each of the options given, this maps to another submessage. It's a line going to another message. Creating a message is the same as using this. Clicking on it, you can drag it, and once you're done making a message, you can use lines to connect them to each other. So you must pull a line to the middle, and this is how it will work. So we'll delete this for now. So once a person clicks graphical representation, and this is the description for that, the bot will go to this message, the first one, this. It sends it this message, which is here are the key feature for graphical representation, the the images. These are the more you can add as many images as you want, and once the chatbot has sent this message, it will send these buttons asking for his interest level on this. So once if you click on questions, you can add buttons list. Previously we used list, now we use buttons. So in buttons, if you go, here is the buttons page, which can have a body text, a footer text, a header text, and different button options. If I want to add new button, I can say test. It creates a button, and as you can see in the background, okay, I have to save it. Test, create, save. So here comes test. Now to save the answer given or selected by the user, suppose if I'm the user and I select interested, how does the attribute get updated? So we save the answers in a variable named at last minute attribute one. So this is a basic variable name. You can create any one you want. So this is created in the user database, and whatever he selects, the value of that is equal to last minute attribute. So if I click interested, last minute attribute 1 is interested. If I click neutral or undecided, its last minute attribute 1 is neutral or undecided. And then it updates in the attribute. Similarly, there are different messages for different deliverables with buttons of same interest, not interest, and update attribute. So now if I see speaker edit talks, if I click on it, okay, sorry, if I click on the button, here we can see there's another variable. This is last minute attribute 4, which links to attribute update attribute. Okay, so each topic is sort of linked to each other, and there are buttons, then it updates attribute. After doing this for all different topics you have, deliverables you have, suppose I had for 7 deliverables, if I'm right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had 7 deliverables, so I have 7 different messages for each deliverable, and they're all linked to a button individually which updates its attribute. The update attribute should be linked to the variable you're selecting. And then after updating attribute, all the update attribute lines should go to this, the basic starting question. So this is sort of an infinity loop which runs for some particular time period. And once an attribute is updated and question is answered by the doctor or the user, we go to this section, the list. This is the same list from here. So after going to this list, we ask the doctors the same question again. After suppose he's done with graphical representation. This is the graphical representation. He's selected what he's interested, not interested. It updates, then it goes to this. After going to this, it will ask this question again. This will be questioned to the user. And these all questions are again mapped back to the messages linked to each other. So it's sort of an infinity loop which runs again and again. So for example, I start my survey. I go to this starting step. When I send the message, when I start the chatbot, this message is sent, then this message is sent, then this question is sent. User has to choose either one of these. Example, he chooses edit speaker talks. He reads this message, which is sent first as a text, then as the image. Then, after sending all this context, it asks the question, are you interested or are you not? Then it updates the attribute, which is linked to the variable from the question. These are the same variables. And after updating attribute, we can reflect back on the database and we can see which variable changed for the user or not. So after updating attribute, it starts all over again. It goes to list the question, and for each list question is connected to the sub questions again. So as we can see, speak as it talks. This is a line from going from behind it, and it connects over here from the in the front. So this is a basic workflow. How we used to do make workflows in class 4, 5. That's a workflow. This is a flowchart for the same. Uh, I can try one chatbot just to show. Let's make a chatbot saying documentation test. So I'll send a message saying, hey, start of documentation survey. This can have an image which I can upload from my PC. Suppose I just take one of the screenshots I used before. I don't know what it is for. It's for another documentation. So I can ask questions. I click on ask questions. I can delete this. Delete. I can choose one of the questions. Suppose I choose button and ask a question. What is your favorite food? And I give the user only two options: seafood and veg. Let's create another one. I create a button and I can see this. So these are different options. I can list a step so that after the starting step it goes to the button. So now if the user selects seafood, I can link to seafood. I can create four more like this. Oh sorry, two more like this. This can be deleted. So which can link to this and meat production link to this. I can say seafood. I can say veg food. I can say meat type food. Or let's just make it meat related food. So now each of these can have an update attribute like in the previous one. Let's say 1, 2, 3. Let's create three update attributes. Let's create buttons first. Let's ask questions, buttons. This links to this. Okay, in this I'll ask interested. Let's say yes, no, create. And the value will be saved in seafood. Or let's say F1 test. This is function 1 test. Similarly, or a simple way to do this is, let me just delete this, delete, delete. So I can copy this, I can copy this, and I can link these to each other. But the variables will also get copied, so be sure to change that. Sorry, this is function 3 test. This is function 2 test. And now I can link yes and no to update attribute, and select the attribute. So it is F2 test if I'm right. Let me just cross check, and I'll be using F2 test. Custom attribute, be sure to select that. Save F2 test. So this can be done similarly for this and for this. Let's do F3 test. Alright, F3 test. Save F1 test. Alright, F1 test. Now, if you want me to make a loop like the one we used before, just copy this. These all link back to this. Now, if I want to do this, if seafood is selected again, it will go back to seafood. If veg is selected again, go to veg. Sorry, this is meat. Sorry. I can easily delete it just by deleting it. Meat should be linked to meat. Veg should be linked to veg. So this is an infinity loop which will keep running after the starting step. So this is how you can make a test board. If you are practicing for the first time, I'm not going to save it. It's not professional. Discard changes. There's nothing there. So yeah, and once a test board is created, you can go to conferences. So let's say make a new template called initialize documentation test. So you send a message which will start the whole conversation, and if the doctor is interested, if I was interested to share my feedback on which food I like, I'll share yes, I'll share my feedback, or else remind me later. After doing that, I can go to automations, I can go to keyword action, and when I go to yes, I'll share my feedback, I can change this. Trigger keyword is yes, I'll share my feedback. Next step is changing chatbot. I can select the chatbot from here. Suppose I had documentation test which I made, which I discarded. So I will select this and I can save it, but I won't. And whenever this template is sent first, like initialized last minute survey, the whole thing will start working. And be sure to take content or images uh, out of a good reference. Suppose I took it from a reference which was already made by the team called Zoho Survey. So everything was taken from this survey link. This was the starting text. These were the mandates. These were the deliverables, different deliverables like key takeaways, edit, speaker talks, question of the talk, interest level. Every question has an interest level. Dedicated Android app, podcast, transcripts, presentations, etc. etc. So these all are this is the basic reference of the whole template. So make sure to find good references and text for the same. That's it. Thank you.